While Atari keeps trying to sell you new systems, like the 5200, with ColecoVision you only need one system, because ColecoVision expands to give you a Super Action controller set with Super Action Baseball, a driving module with turbo, an expansion module to play all Atari 2600 games, and only ColecoVision plugs into the Atom module to become the complete Atom computer system. So if you don't want to keep buying new systems, there's only one system to buy, ColecoVision. Sorry, Atari.
Console Wars. We've all heard about it. We've probably all been a part of it. But is it really a bad thing for the gaming community? Well, the executive Phil Spencer for Xbox, he expressed his feelings in a GameSpot interview about a week ago, explaining that he finds it distasteful that people would actually decide to choose one platform over the other. He thinks that you should play all platforms because they all, bring something different to the table. Which is very true. I can agree with him on that. But one thing is, I don't agree that Console Wars is a bad thing, and I don't believe that Console Wars should go away. I've been sitting back watching videos, looking at people respond to Phil Spencer's article, and, taking info from what people have been saying and listening to things they've been saying. You have some people saying that, this is a new thing, which Console Wars isn't new. It is nothing that started this generation. It has been around for generations, well back to when console gaming first started. Then you had people who were just making videos to get on the Xbox fanboys on YouTube, the ones that they spit a whole bunch of false facts and things like that about Sony and make Sony look bad when actually it's something good towards Sony, and then they spin bad information about the Xbox to make it seem like Xbox is actually really good, to the point where they actually spun what Phil Spencer said and made it seem that Phil Spencer wasn't talking about them, which is highly crazy. But my opinion, I don't think that Console Wars is a bad thing. I think that it's just a way of life in the gaming community. And what I mean by that is, Console Wars, like I said, have been around forever. You could go back to the Intellivision, Coleco, and Atari days, where you would have spokespersons showing ads or doing commercials, and they would showcase their console next to maybe the Atari and explain how you will get the true arcade experience by playing their console, because they have the better sound and the better graphics than the Atari did. Or you can go a little bit further, 10 years later, where the NES, Sega Genesis, and the Super Nintendo were around in the late 80s to early 90s. And get into the bit wars, because they were talking about their bits, the Sega 16-bit, the Nintendo 8-bit, the Super Nintendo, I would say about 24-bit, and then you will get the Atari Jaguar, which claimed to have a 64-bit, the 3DO, 32-bit. All these consoles were throwing bits at you, because bits means better graphics, better sound. That's what, that war meant back then. So it's always been around. This is nothing new. Remember Sega does what Nintendon't? That commercial? That was an actual commercial that Sega put out back in the 90s, where they were showing games that Sega had that Nintendo didn't. And then another thing that Sega would boast around was their blast processing. And I spoke about this in a past video, where it was pretty much, consider it how we talk about 60 FPS today, how games run a smooth 60 FPS. Sega had some kind of a chip in their system, or they just knew how to tweak a chip in their system that made the games run fluid. Like, look at Sonic the Hedgehog when he's running around the screen and the way the screen scrolls and how everything moves around him. Super Nintendo really couldn't do that. In fact, Super Nintendo actually finally got a game to do that, but it was late in their lifespan. It was a game that people really don't even know about, and I forgot the title of the game, but I saw Angry Video Game Nerd talk about it about a few months ago and actually show the game off, because they actually were able to achieve the blast processing effect. So Console Wars have always been around, and I think they should always stay around. I mean, if you choose to play one console and you choose to be a fan of one console, I don't consider you any less of a gamer than a person that plays all the consoles. You're not any less of a gamer. If you play football and baseball, for instance, I do, and I don't like soccer and I don't play soccer, does that consider me am I not an athlete? No. I mean, I still play sports, but I just prefer 2 other sports over another sport. I don't play soccer whatsoever. That's not a sport that I enjoy playing, but I love playing football. I love playing baseball. I would even play basketball and even golf if someone offered to play it. But that doesn't make me any less than an athlete. So I feel the same way as goes with gaming. If you like to play a certain console and you're a fan of it, be a fan of that console. I don't have a problem with it. Just don't be like these Xbox idiots who go and try to make the other console look bad with false facts that they come up with or make up and lies. Just don't do that, and you're fine. But if you have real facts, then so be it. Just, it's all fun and games. It's all fun. It's just like with sports. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan in football. There's people I know that are Redskin fans. We go at it with each other all the time, talking trash. That's because our 2 teams are rivals. You don't see people, you don't see a lot of people that are watching sports like every single team in that sport. They normally pick, 1 or maybe 3 teams. But, it's not a lot of times where you see people that like every single team, because people like to feel a part of an organization. They want to feel a part of a team. So they choose something and they go with it. So I can see what Phil Spencer's saying. It would make things a lot better. Everyone held each other in arms and everything was all hunky-dory. Dogs and cats lived together in mass hysteria, things like that. But no, it doesn't need to be that way. And I don't find it distasteful if, you like one platform over another and you only prefer to play that platform over another. I've done it when I was a kid. I always liked the PlayStation 2. I hated the Xbox, and I used to talk trash about the Xbox all the time. When I had the Sega Genesis, I talked trash about the NES. When I had the PlayStation, I talked trash about the 64, and so on. Now I talk trash about both consoles because I have a PC, and I think PC is the better platform to play on. But I will still buy me a PlayStation 3 because PlayStation 4, because out of the 2 consoles that are out now, I think PlayStation 4 is more around my speed, and it's the stronger console out of the 2, and I want what's better, so I will go with the PlayStation 4. But let me know how you feel in the comment section, man. Do you feel that it is actually distasteful to only like one organization and stick with one platform, or do you think it's okay long as you just don't sit there and spread lies and make rumors about another console? Because then that's an issue. If you're doing that, I see it as bad. But this is your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, the Michael Jordan Gaming, and I'm gone. Bye!